For us to wake up. We are in a sleep, we are in a slumber in the city of Milwaukee.
Right.
Every time I come down here, every time I'm riding through, I'm looking around, everybody got this mentality like everything is good. Everything is not good. Have you looked around in the community? What just happened recently in the news? You just had a Caucasian man damn near strangle a mentally challenged young man. I'ma say it again. You just had a Caucasian man damn near strangle a mentally challenged young man. But we walk up and down the streets of Milwaukee and we think everything is all right. Everything is not all right. Isaiah 5:13.
Bring it out.
Everything is not all right here. It's time for y'all to wake the hell up. All brothers worried about down here is trying to chase women, get money, and ride in fancy cars.
Right.
That's all brothers be worried about. But meanwhile, when you look at the community, you look at your people, we getting a foot up our behind.
Right.
Come over and find out why. It's not because we got the short end of the stick. It's something we not doing.
Right.
Come find out what it is that we need to do to change the outcome. Read.
Isaiah chapter 5 verse 13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity.
So that's the first thing. What happened to us? We went into captivity. 1492, 1619. We went into captivity, slavery.
Bring it out.
That was the start of it. But they didn't stop putting that foot on our neck. Why you think it's redlining in the community? That's meant to destroy us, keep us out.
Right.
You try to move out the hood, guess what? They overpriced the houses. You want to move out of Milwaukee, you want to go where? Jamestown. You want to go to what? Wauwatosa, Waukesha. You want to go to one of the nicer areas, but all the damn houses is sky high.
Right.
That's not by coincidence, that's by design.
Right.
They want to keep us in that cesspool. They want to keep us in the midst of killing. They want to keep us in these violent environments so we can destroy ourselves.
Right.
Read.
Because they have no knowledge.
What it say?
They have no knowledge.
It said we went into slavery because we had no knowledge. What is the knowledge? Because when you hear knowledge, what's your name, bro? Ronnie? Ron? So when you hear knowledge, Ron, you automatically think college. You automatically think, oh, a BA, bachelor's, doctorate, PhD. You think about all them things. Does not our people have those things? I got a cousin that got a PhD, and she don't know where she come from. She don't know this information right here.
Bring it out.
She got the doctorate title, but she does not know why her people keep ending up at the bottom. Why in her community, it's a liquor store everywhere.
Bring it out.
Just not too long ago, you had a woman and her daughter with a magnet in Chicago, magnet fishing, put the magnet in Lake Michigan and was pulling out guns. How you think guns was in Lake Michigan? Because what? Crimes, brothers run from the police, toss the gun in the lake. And the same thing be going on here. Because there's murders happening all throughout Milwaukee. But why is it? Because we have no knowledge. What's the knowledge? Read.
Malachi chapter 2 verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth. For he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts.
Read it again for Ron, one more time.
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
It said the priest's lips. Another word for priest is leader.
Right.
Our leaders are supposed to keep God's laws in their mouth.
Right.
You know what's a law of God? Thou shalt not steal.
Bring it out.
When Jacob Blake got shot, what was our people doing in Wisconsin? Rioting and looting. When George Floyd got killed, it was rioting and looting in Chicago. What was our people doing? Stealing. All down in Milwaukee, all down in Kenosha, stealing. If we kept God's laws, if we followed God's rules, we would stop stealing, we would stop home invasions, breaking and entering. We would stop all of that just in our community alone. But because we lack knowledge, we are in this decayed state. Read.
And they should seek the law at his mouth.
So these leaders that set up, we supposed to be hearing knowledge from them, Ron. I know you gotta watch cars. We supposed to be hearing knowledge from these leaders that set up. My brother, come over. What we going over, the leaders that set up is supposed to be teaching us something. Read that again.
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
You know what some leaders in our community? Pastors. Do not our people look at pastors as leaders? What are pastors teaching us? Nothing. You know how you know pastors ain't teaching us nothing? You still got young men speed through Milwaukee. It was a brother that they had on the news, he got stopped for speeding 35 times. 35 times in Milwaukee. Our young man is not being taught by these men who are set up, these pastors, these politicians, these reverends, these motivational speakers. They not teaching our young men nothing. Our young men, they need what? The rules of God. That's why that verse said, the priest's lips should keep knowledge. When you come before your leaders, they supposed to have some knowledge that they supposed to input in you to what? Help you avoid bad situations. That's what this Bible do. If we follow what the Bible say, we will avoid bad situations. Go back to Isaiah 5. Because what we going over, how we got in this state that we in. Why are we in the ghetto? We are in the ghetto because what? We went into slavery. Take a look down here. We went into slavery because what? We had no knowledge. It wasn't that God didn't show us the knowledge. We ain't want to keep the knowledge. So he says, if you don't want to follow my rules, I'm going to let your enemies overcome you. I'm going to let your enemies put you in shackles and chains. I'm going to let your enemies govern over you, rule over you, tell you what to do. When we used to rule the earth, But God said, I'm not letting you keep this power because you're disobedient to me. Our success in life is based on if we listen to him or not. You hear what I just said? Our success is based on if we doing what God says or not. That's the whole Bible in a nutshell.
Right.
When we listen to God, everything go good. When we don't listen to God, everything go bad. Read.
Isaiah chapter 5 verse 13. Therefore my people are gone into captivity.
Remember, we went into slavery. Why?
Because they have no knowledge.
My sister, listen up. I want you to hear this. My sister, come over. I want you to hear this. Read that again.
Therefore, my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge.
God said we went into slavery, captivity, a bad living condition. Why? Because we had no knowledge. We refused to listen to God. So he said, you don't want to listen to me, I'm gonna put you in a worse situation. Read.
And their honorable men are famished.
It said our honorable men. What's your name, sis? I didn't get your name. Jolie. It said our honorable men are famished. Our leaders are terrible. When we get a leader in politics, he does nothing for the community. When you get a black man to get in that seat, he won't do nothing. They'll come to the black community, the Hispanic community. Oh, I'm going to change this. I'm going to make sure we have schools. I'm going to make sure it's preschools, free health care, and they don't do none of that. Their only job is to follow the agenda of the people that put them in the seat. That's it. It's time for us to wake up and come back to God. Listen to what it said. These things happened because we had no knowledge. Just like I was showing the young man.
I told him I'm watching the show.
Right. This is part of it. Because we don't have any knowledge, we believe that this is God. That's why when somebody that look like this do something to you, You say it's Jesus that did it to you. You so shocked, you so flabbergasted. But what have these people done to us the whole 400 years we've been here? Murder, rape, rob, kill us. I was just mentioning before you walked up, a Caucasian man was choking a young man who is mentally disabled.
Right.
Here.
Right.
A white man was choking a young man who is mentally disabled because he think he know who stole a bike. Now, I ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer, but you put your hands on somebody that's mentally disabled, you supposed to get some repercussions behind that.
Right.
They cannot defend themselves. They're vulnerable. You supposed to get some jail time behind that. I have not heard about no jail time. These is things that happen to us. Why? Because we refuse to follow the knowledge God gave us. Read.
And their multitude dried up with thirst.
It says, and our multitude dried up with thirst. Look at our living conditions. How do we live? Just look at King Drive. I'm going to tell you something that's so bad about this. Wherever this man's name is, in whatever city it is, it's a bad neighborhood.
Right.
The whole strip in Chicago, that's King Drive, bad. This strip here in Milwaukee, King Drive, bad. Does not murder go on in this neighborhood?
Right.
Killing. It was just a shooting. They found 100 shell cases in Milwaukee.
Right.
In Milwaukee. I'm not talking about nobody, nowhere else. It was just a shooting. All the victims was young men, 17, 22, 21. It's time for us to make a turn. It's time for us to make a change. Our ways does not work. That's what we must realize. From there, finish that up.
Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself. And
Jolie, listen to what God just said. Read.
And opened her.
They got to hear that word. Read that whole thing from the top. It said, therefore, what has what?
Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself.
Did you hear what God said? Because we don't listen, because we don't want to follow nothing God tell us, hell has grown larger. Does not our people say we living in hell? You a little older, mama. You done heard people say, man, it's like hell out here. It's like we living in hell. God just confirmed it. We live in hell because we do not listen to God.
Right.
What's wrong with thou shalt not commit adultery? What's wrong with thou shalt not steal? Thou shalt not kill? I was just telling the brother in the car, if we kept that right here in this neighborhood, thou shalt not steal, when something happens, somebody dies, it's a tragic event, won't nobody riot and loot. It won't be no breaking and entering, no home invasions. I was just telling the brother this. We've tried everything but God's way.
Right.
We try religion, we try politics. None of that stuff helps us. So what's the last option? God.
Right.
That's it. Read.
Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure. And their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoiced shall descend into it.
God said we're going to be destroyed because of what? Our pride. Can't nobody tell us nothing. Is that not the mindset of the black, Hispanic, and Native American man and woman? Can't nobody tell us nothing. We know everything. So God says, since you know everything, here you go. We got what's on these signs plus more. So it's no coincidence. We are suffering because we don't listen to God. It's a word that sums that up. It's called sin. 1 John 3 and 4. Our communities are the way that they are because of sin. What is sin? Another word for sin is crime.
Bring it out.
We keep committing crime or sin amongst us, and we are the people of God. God does not approve of that behavior. Jolie, do you understand what I'm telling you? Mama, you understand what I'm telling you? We must change the way we behave ourselves. God does not approve of it. So what happened when you read the Bible? When anybody go against God, something bad happened to them, don't it? So it's the same thing today. This was just back then. We still the same people. We just got different clothes now. When we go against God, it's always a bad outcome. Right. So what we telling our people? Come back to God. Read.
1 John Chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law.
Let's read it again.
Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law.
So it said, whoever commits sin, they transgress the law. Whose law? God's laws. Transgress means to break. So when you sin, you breaking God's rules. It's very simple to understand. Here's some rules. Give me 1 Corinthians 3:16. Let's get some rules. Now, do all of y'all see y'allself on this sign right here? That very last one? Come look at that sign. Tell me where y'all see y'allself at. Excuse me, sir. Tell me where y'all see y'allself at. Keep 1 John 3 and 4 too. Where y'all see y'allself at right here? Levi. You are from the tribe of Levi. Moses is one of your ancestors. Moses is from the tribe of Levi. Where you see yourself at, mama? American Black, tribe of Judah. You know who else come from the tribe of Judah? Jesus Christ. So we are related to the greatest men to ever walk the earth. They still making movies about your forefathers.
Right.
They still making movies, television series about your people. They have white people playing them, but that's us.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, His word.